I'm a holder, I'm a hodler. And the central banks around the world are in panic mode. And they're literally about to torch this economy and the fiat money world down to the ground. So there's only one unconfiscatable, uncensorable money in the world, and that's Bitcoin. And that's the fundamental story. So you should own it. You should own it aggressively. If you're a trader and you're looking for trader signals and technical analysis, I agree with what Peter Lynch said about technical analysts. They're 100% correct when looking backwards. They're 100% correct in predicting the past, right? I don't know of a single technical analyst billionaire in the world. Technical analysis is essentially astrology for men.
Venezuelan government approves new tax for cryptocurrency and foreign currency transactions. Huge. Now, exists the opportunity because Bitcoin, providing utility as a unit of value to over 26 million people. See, the initiative aims to incentivize the use of national currency. The Venezuelan national currency lost over 70% of its value in the last year alone. So this is a big help. Now, Bitcoin, a hedge against a country's hyperinflation. Great solution. But the Venezuelan government today approved a new tax bill. A bill aiming to collect 20% of taxes in cryptocurrency transactions. Well, look at that. This is the point of seeing the fork in the road. The decentralized currency created for avoiding centralized regulation. That's a punch in the stomach and a slap in the face at the same time. Ouch. A new tax. The exchange of value is only a vehicle to the driver. Call it fiat Bitcoin, Bolivian dollars. If the one driving the transactions are also responsible for all the accidents that take place, wouldn't you want to get new drivers? The world doesn't have a money problem. We have a mismanagement of resource problem. And driving to work for 20 years with the same potholes in the road, something's wrong. The people can blame government or government to people. The perception that we're divided, first off, that's an illusion. That's the first thing to realize. Everybody is at fault. It doesn't matter if you're in the White House or at your house. We need change everywhere now.
Singapore saw 13x jump in crypto investments in 2021, KPMG. Singapore has seen a tenfold increase in crypto-related investments last year worth $1.48 billion, up from $110 million in 2020, according to KPMG's Pulse of Fintech report. As per the study, the city-state has long been recognized as a center of cryptocurrency activity, with over $1.48 billion in investment completed last year alone.
You are just a machine, an imitation of life. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece? Can you?
Because the network is growing rapidly, and it is already about hitting a new all-time high. So it's flirting with new all-time highs as we speak already in the first few weeks of 2022. So that trend should continue because more and more miners are coming into the network because mining is a hugely profitable business. The average miner's cost per Bitcoin is under $8,000 per coin. So at these levels, it's a wildly profitable business. And you're going to see more and more countries start to mine Bitcoin. Remember, I said on your show a few years ago that I was anticipating what I call hash wars or the hash race. So right now you've got El Salvador, who's accumulating Bitcoin. They're doing Bitcoin volcano bonds. And we see a couple of other countries mining Bitcoin and adding Bitcoin to strategic reserves. I think once a country in the G7 starts to accumulate and mine Bitcoin, it'll set off like a space race that we saw in the 60s where the Soviets put up the Sputnik satellite and it launched the space race and a man landing on the moon. I think once a G7 country comes out and says, hey, we're adding Bitcoin to our reserves, we're mining Bitcoin, then you're going to see other countries say, hey, we got to get in on this. The U.S. will come in. The U.S. will come in and start to mine Bitcoin. You've already got a lot of senators in the U.S. right now, like Cynthia Lummis. A third, as I understand it, a third of all of her contributions coming in right now are coming from Bitcoiners. And now we've got many congressmen and senators that are into Bitcoin. We've got governors into Bitcoin. You've got the mayor of Miami. Wyoming is probably going to become a Bitcoin state. Texas could very well secede.
The group of G7 is an intergovernmental organization made up of the world's developed economies: France, Germany, Italy, and Japan, the United States and the United Kingdom, and Canada. So government leaders of these countries meet periodically to address the international economic and monetary issues, with each member taking over the presidency on a rotating basis. So in 1999, the group also decided to get more directly involved by creating the Financial Stability Forum. So the Financial Stability Forum is a major national financial place of authority, such as finance ministers, central bankers, and international financial bodies. Institutional analysts covering the power of Bitcoin expedites its perceived need for adoption. Now corporations and banks are slowly buying out Bitcoin. A couple of scenarios can play out. First, the government begins to understand the power of Bitcoin. It tightens up regulatory efforts on crypto and taxes Satoshi out of it, places an executive order. A cyber war breaks out between people and the government, with the government trying to regulate the internet, placing a curfew on its usage. Then there comes the new decentralized internet that splits the society into a virtual citizenship. 2, the system resumes its plutocratic function under the new context of cryptocurrency and blockchain. Classification resumes under new people, like the 1% in rotate positions. So the ones who've been packing their bags becomes the new rich. The older fiat rich becomes the middle class, and the poor gets poor. And 3, what do you think the third play out is?
Look, with eCoin equal to $1, it'll free up the economy.
The only reason why you're here first is because you don't want to get slapped with regulations. But if you are indeed asking, then I am saying no. It's unconstitutional. You can't make your own currency. That is the federal government's job.
The problem here is hard cash is fading rapidly. That's just the way of the world right now. And Bitcoin is spreading, and if Bitcoin takes over, we are all in a world of hell. With eCoin, we control the ledger and the mining servers. We are the authority.